What's up, bros? Yu-Gi-Oh! Advanced 176 here. I want to show you guys a deck before I split this up. Shut up, doggies! I wanted to show you guys this deck before I split it up. Yeah. This is an updated deck on the Battling Boxers. Unfortunately, I'm splitting it up because I want to make a different deck. I've been having fun with this deck, but it's not what I want to try now. So, we have 3 Battling Boxer switch hits. You use this card to take and special summon Battling Boxers from your graveyard, and the only downside to this effect is that you cannot target other, and you cannot special summon any other monsters except for Battling Boxers. He's a warrior, level 400, 1500 attack, and I believe 14 defense. Next up, we have 3 Veils. Battling Boxer Veil is basically a Gorez of the deck, okay? That's how I relate it to. You can special summon this card from your hand whenever you take damage. Also, it's very rainy and very thundery. Very wet. So, enjoy the thundery clouds. Unfortunately, I'm not adding music to this because this video is definitely going to be over 5 minutes. Okay, so Veil, it gains life points after the fact you've taken damage. There is one flaw. I think, I'm not sure, but I think you will die if you have if you reach 0 life points, and then you special summon Veil. It's too late if you ask me. But Veil is very good. It's great support that we just got. You guys can pull him easily. He's not that hard to pull. I pulled like 3 of them the other day. Okay, so now we have 3 Battling Boxer switch hits, or Glassjaws. Glassjaws can add Veil, or Switch Hit, or any Battling Boxer, but I prefer to bring back Veil or Switch Hit. Mostly because they're used later on in the game. It's a 2000 beater. It's automatically destroyed whenever it's taken damage, or whenever it's declared an attack upon. Now we have 2 Big Bandage. Once per turn, unlike Battling Boxer Headgear, he saves himself while he's in defense mode as well. Once per turn, you can target 1 Battling Boxer in your grave or banished, and turn all Battling Boxer monsters you control with a level into that level. So that means you can now do wind up Zen Mines using Counterpunch in the banish pile, or do any level 4, which is pretty cool. I just wish they made a Battling Boxer level 5 monster. That would have been pretty sick. Whenever this card is banished, you know, do something whenever it's banished. Alright, so yeah. Now we're going to run 2 Counterpunch. Counterpunch is the crane, the bouging crane of the deck. You can drop him, banish him, and your monster gains 1000 attack. He would be a Battling Boxer, however, though. Very great. Also, like I said, you can XZ summon for Zen Mines with Big Bandage now. And we have 2 Spar. I would have ran 3, but yeah, Spar needs to be better. Whenever you special summon him from your hand, you do not take any, you cannot conduct your battle phase. You play the effect to special summoning while you control a face-up Battling Boxer monster. There are several cards that you can relate this to, but I'm not going to go over them with that. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you guys a shout-out to 2 groups. Okay, next up we have 3 Headgears. Battling Boxer Headgear. Once per turn, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Whenever it's normal summon, you can send 1 Battling Boxer to the grave. Using the effect of Battling Boxer Glassjaw. This guy, there. You send this guy to the grave and get to add 1 Battling Boxer from your grave to the hand, which is pretty cool. Also, you can set up for Battling Boxer Switch Hit. Very cool setup. So that way you get a yugioh next turn, which I'll explain later. Alright, next up we have Battling Boxer, or Blaster, the Dragon Ruler of Infernos. He is basically the popper of the deck. You discard him and 1 fire-type monster, and you pop 1 card. And you know whenever you need to take and discard a card just for switch hit to take and be able to special summon a monster from the grave. Or if you need just a Glassjaw on the grave for a Masked Chameleon, which I'm about to explain. So yeah, and also you can banish 2 fire-type monsters to special summoning, which would be really cool if the Battling Boxers had a banishing effect. Could be better. Alright, next up we have 2 Masked Chameleons. I would run 3, but however, it does its best at 2. Mass Chameleon, whenever he's normal summon, you can special summon one monster with 0 defense from your graveyard into face-up defense mode. And the only monster in this deck, however, is Battling Boxer Glassjaw. I've seen other people run Goblinberg and some other cards that special summon him. But I prefer to run just Glassjaw because he runs pretty consistent. So yeah, unfortunately with Mass Chameleon, you can only special summon monsters of the same from the extra deck, I mean. Alright, 2 Evailers. It stops just about anything that wants to start spamming. You reach to a certain point and you say, no, he didn't. You discard him from your hand and he negates all the effects until the end phase. Also, he's a level 1 tuner, so you can pull out a Cataster in this deck, which I've had occasions to do it, but I don't want to, because I prefer him to be a hand trap. Alright, next up we have 2 Mathematicians. I've seen people run this card, but I personally don't like him that much. He's just a second headgear in the deck, and he is pretty much a card trooper. Whenever you destroy by battle, you get to draw a card. That's okay. Normal summon him, send a level 4 or lower monster to the grave, which means Glassjaw, and you can do all kinds of crazy combos with him. Also set up for Zen Mines. And unfortunately, now that I'm talking about Zen Mines, I don't have one in this deck. Solemn Warning. Pay 2,000, stop any summon. Really good. And it's really, really good whenever you're facing against somebody with their Soul Charge, which you're going to really need to get some stuff to stop it. So, Torrential Tribute. Whenever your opponent normal summons, or you normal summon a monster, or a monster is summoned to the field, you can activate this card and destroy all monsters on the field. Very great, and playing the effect of Glassjaw and Yugioh, and maybe even Maestroke, the Symphony of Jin. Okay, so also, what do you guys like of this playmat? Won this back at a sneak peek. Okay, so now we have 1 Mere Force. So I've seen people run 2, but I only own 1. So yeah, you guys can tell I'm still a very early Yu-Gi-Tuber. Doggies, hush. Also another reason, I don't live alone. Say hello to doggies. Doggies. Okay, so yeah. Mere Force. Whenever you activate this, your opponent's monster in attack position will die. Very good. Also, now we have 1 Bottomless. Unfortunately, he is at 1 right now. A downside to this card. It destroys the monster that's summoned to the field. If they were playing Battling Boxers, which I like about Yugioh, you can detach 1 XZ material to save him, just like Maestroke. You can also do that with 101, but unfortunately he loses his effects. I wish I had 101, as you can still tell. I'm still a fairly cheap Yu-Gi-Tuber right now. Compulsory Evacuation Device. You can bounce 1 card your opponent controls, which is really good in a lot of occasions. They would summon something that you want to get over. Let's say they had a, what do you want to say? Another Yugioh or something. This stops Yugioh as well, unfortunately. You bounce it, and they cannot get it back on the field. All their eggs and material are sent to the grave. Really good, but really bad for us. Okay, D-Prison. Banish 1 monster that declares an attack. You can also do that onto a Yugioh. So if you see any more people running Yugioh, these are also how to stop them. I'm going over cards that stop them, as well as cards that are going to enhance them. D-Prison stops just about any monster. It's really cool, and I suggest running 2, but I am cheap, again, only 1. I'm still a fairly new Yu-Gi-Tuber. So we have 1 Rhoda. Yeah, I may be cheap, but that doesn't mean I don't like hollows, as you can tell. Alright, 1 Rhoda, Reinforcement of the Army. Add 1 level 4 or lower warrior type from your hand. And with this deck, you stay very consistent with a lot of warrior types. Very good. Very, 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 very good. Very good card to add. If you don't have that, you might as well stop searching. Alright, so now we have 1 Soul Charge. I may be a cheap duelist, but I'm not stupid. This card is too good to be true. You pay life points equal to the number of monsters you want to special summon from the grave. Yeah, the paying life points I don't like, but you take 1,000 points of damage for each monster you special summon. But with this deck, you only need to special summon 2. So, yeah. Having 2 battling boxers special summoned to the field sets you up for a yugioh. Next up, we have Mystical Space Typhoon ×2. Okay, so Mystical Space Typhoon. Why would I run this? Well, for one, you never know whenever you're gonna run into Compulse or Deprison. And sorry about all the noise, guys. It's my sister and everybody else running around. I can't wait to get my own house. My YouTube videos would be a lot better. Alright, so we have MST to destroy, Compulse, Deprison, whatever you think will stop your yugioh. So now we have Dark Hole. You can also use the effect of yugioh to detach and increase his attack by 1,000 or 800, which you can have a 3,000 beater instantly and a direct attack, which is pretty cool. Okay, so next we have a Warrior Returning Alive. Why did that gold sod come out? Stay. Good boy. Alright, so we have Warrior Returning Alive. Just in that case of setting, wherever you want to take and get that scenario. Also, these are miscuts. This one is a miscut, unfortunately for me. It's really cool. But I play the effect of Warrior Returning Alive to add switch hit to the hand and set up for another yugioh. As you guys can tell, I'm mentioning the yugioh a lot. One reason why is because this deck is based on summoning yugioh and just beating the shit out of people. Alright, so Gold Sarcophagus. You can banish to take in a target your blaster because you only have one in the deck. Or you could do a Mass Chameleon, or even just a setup for any card that you want. During the second standby phase, after you banished a card from your deck, you get to add it to your hand. Really cool, really broken. That's why it was banned for a while. Okay, so now then, my phone is dying. Oh well. Foolish Burial. Send that Glassjaw to the grave. Why the heck not? It sends one monster from your deck to the grave. You can target any monster. That means you can send Blaster from your deck to the grave, and Blaster will banish to special summon himself. Glassjaw will gain the effect to special summon to himself. Will special summon him, gain the effect to add one of the battling boxers from the grave to the deck, or from the grave to your hand, and one $15 super rare Forbidden Lance. Yeah. For sale, please. Anybody want to buy a Lance? He's really good. You can target one face-up monster on the field, either yours or your opponent. Loses 800 attack points, becomes unaffected by spells and traps. Very good, and also it can kill your opponent's monsters if you play it right. So here we go onto the extra deck. Like I said, very cheap extra deck here. So now we run 3 yugiohs. Now let's hear what all that chirping and chopping is all about. Yugioh. You can detach 1 exhumed material, save 1 battling boxer. You know what the best part about Yugioh is? Is that he can save himself for a Glassjaw to detach. You detach that Glassjaw, gain the effect of Glassjaw, and add 1 Veil, switch hit, or even a headgear if you wanted. But the deck is really consistent and based on yugioh. If you don't have yugioh out, then your opponent will start pounding you. This deck will save himself a lot. Okay, so now, we're going to go on to number 50. I've seen a lot of people play him. I do not like him at all. He sucks in my opinion. But it's came to the point where it has saved me several times. I've seen somebody summon a 1,000 attack point monster. They had 1,000 attack life points left, and they had a 8,000 beater out. I XZ summoned for 50 using Spar and somebody else, and then I detached to destroy the 1,000 attack. He took 1,000 points of damage. That was game for me. This card has saved me. Unfortunately, I am also willing to sell him too. I'm selling the Lance and the number 50. I am willing to sell cards. Any day. Every day. Okay, Steel Swarm Roach. During either player's turn, whenever a fire type, a level 5 or higher monster would be special summoned, you can detach 1 exhumed material, negate the special summon, and destroy it if you do. So yeah, he's very good to stop high-level monsters. Let's just say they wanted to take and go ahead and special summon for, the Chaos Dragons aren't dead yet. Neither are the Elemental Dragons. This card will stop them, at least temporarily. It also will give you direct attack for 1900 if that's all they do is special summon 5 or higher. Okay, next we have King of the Feral Imps. King of the Feral Imps, they detach and search for Mass Chameleon to set up for another card I will introduce later. Okay, so number 32. Why the flip would I run this? Well, for one, I couldn't find another XYZ, so screw you guys. Here you go, freebie, selling, whatever. Maestro, the Djinn of Symphony of Djinn. Okay, so this is how it works. You can save him by detaching an XZ material just like Yugioh, except with Maestro, he doesn't gain attack points. Yugioh gains attack points by detaching an XZ material. He gains 800 for each detached. Maestro, you can detach and flip one monster face down. You can use this effect to reset the attack on monsters, which I have done plenty of times. It's very helpful. It's pretty cool, and I love Maestro. Maestro is pretty easy to get out. The deck stays consistent with him. No matter what your opponent does, you're going to have them cornered with this card. It has 1800 attack points, and it's level 3, or rank 4, takes 2 level 4s. It's 23 defense, so he's got fair defense. So now let's move on to the synchros. As I mentioned earlier, Mass Chameleon is a tuner. So is the Effect Veiler. Scrap Dragon. You can target one card on your side of the field and destroy that target, and one monster on their, or one card on your opponent's side of the field to destroy it. If you had a Battling Boxer Yugioh with a few XZ material, we'll just say that these are random XZ material, you can take and use the effect to pop this card. Detach, save, becomes a 3000, play the effect of Scrap Dragon, finish it, and pop their Blackrose, or whatever else they had. It's a very good combo, very common. Unfortunately, it's only once per turn. You can also do that with Maestro, detaching to save him as well. And 101 if you own that card and you're rich. Sooner or later, I will become more rich with Yu-Gi-Oh, but I am going to be lagging for a while. I'm staying with ramen noodles every night, you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and show you Colossal Fighter. Almost nobody uses Colossal Fighter. This monster is necessity, if you ask me. Do you know how many warriors are in your grave whenever you summon monsters from the grave? Hello, Colossal Fighter. You know, one time I got him to 4,600 just because of this fact, and my opponent had no warriors. This card gains 100 attack points from the grave. It gains 100 attack points for each warrior in the graveyard, either players. That means your opponent's and yours. Also, if he's destroyed by battle, you can special summon one warrior, even himself. Whenever he's in the grave is whenever it activates. That means you can target himself in the graveyard to special summon him. So he's a big loop if you can keep his attack low. So yeah, committing suicide is pretty cool too. Okay, now I have 2 Stardust Dragons also for sale. 2 Stardust Dragons. You can tribute this card and banish it, and negate one card that would destroy any one or more cards on the field, and then special summoning back to the end phase, during the end phase, which is pretty cool. He's a 25 beater, level 8. I've seen that you can XZ with summon with this as well, for 8 stars, but I don't, and there's the second Scrap Dragon. So comment below on what you guys thought of this deck. A lot of the cards are going to be up for sale because of the fact that I am getting a new deck. I am running Glad Beast next season. So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Advanced 176 here, signing out. Peace! Yeah, you guys heard the dogs. That's the signing out part.